Thank you again, first of all, for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
So what we're going to do, so this whole Zoom call is being recorded. So this will be like, obviously not this whole part, but once we start, that will be the actual video that they're posting and using for the highlights that they're doing and stuff like that. So first, I'll just ask you to introduce yourself. So like your name, sport, where you're from, and then what you studied at Liberty.
Okay.
And after that, then I'll just go into the questions I have. It's about 5 or 6 questions. Sometimes you guys cover 2 questions in a single answer, so that's totally fine. I just have, and then, like I said, we're interviewing multiple people, so don't feel like your answers have to be like 5 minutes long or anything like that.
Okay.
So you're good. All right, so we will go ahead and get started. All right, so hey, Mickayla, thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, about your journey at Liberty and kind of what's next for you. So to start off, could you just introduce yourself to everyone that's listening?
Yeah, so my name is Mickayla Green, and I'm a senior here at Liberty. So this is my last year, and I'm with the women's soccer team, and I just finished my last season with them this past fall.
And what were you studying while you were at Liberty?
Criminal justice was my major.
Nice. So first off, can you just tell us about your journey to Liberty and how you found out about Liberty and what that looked like for you?
Yeah, so originally I actually haven't heard of, like when I was in my club years, I really didn't know of Liberty, and I found out from one of the tournaments that I was at with my club team, and the previous coach or assistant coach, Coach Godwin, he reached out to me, and that's how I like originally found out about Liberty. So from there, it was just kind of like I just kind of stuck with them pretty much throughout the rest of my club years until I got to college.
Nice. So obviously a lot can go on over the course of the time that you're in college, 4 years usually. So what would you say was one of the most valuable lessons that you learned over your time at Liberty, and whether that made you, a better student, a better athlete, or just a better person overall in preparation for life after soccer?
Yeah, so I would say for me, it was just being really like our coach you asked like the team to really pick out a word that would kind of describe us and how we would kind of perform basically throughout the season. So I picked tenacity, and for me, being tenacious throughout like my 4 years here has just kind of allowed me to really just kind of like push the boundaries in how I play, how I do my schoolwork, because doing this is such a privilege and you don't want to take it for granted. So being tenacious and going after what I came here to do, and which is to play soccer, just kind of like allowed me to really come out of my shell and just kind of like help shape me into the person that I am today.
That's awesome. So, you come in contact with a lot of people while you're in college as well. And so was there anyone or any group of people in particular that you would say was pivotal to your success at Liberty and just your overall experience?
So I would say before I got to Liberty, my like game of soccer really didn't peak until kind of near the end of my club years, and I actually started training with a guy outside of my club, and I was like training with guys and girls, but the training with guys at a young age helped me to really shape how I played and like my aggressiveness and everything, kind of like the characteristics that kind of stand out for me. So training with him had really like pushed me to get to where I was, to where I started getting recruited, by kind of, pretty big schools like Liberty. So training with him, and then even my dad just being there with me like every step of the way kind of just helped me, just support me and just get to where I wanted to go.
Yeah, I know that support system is very, very crucial. A lot of things can happen over 4 years and you're kind of learning, navigating how to be an adult and taking care of things on your own. So was there any ever time that there was adversity for you in your time at Liberty? And if so, how did you overcome that?
Originally, I would say that adversity-wise was just, which is like a lot of players have to go through this, is just playing time. And sometimes it comes from either a little bit of doubt from your coaches because they feel as though you may not have fully what it takes to play, out on the field with your teammates. And kind of that doubt kind of trickles into a snowball effect of self-doubt within me. And that's kind of what I had to deal with, like my freshman going on to like my junior year, was pretty much trying to prove that I'm capable of being out there and like being one of those players that are like game changers out in the field. So that kind of just helped me to realize, like, if I keep doing the work, and something my dad would always tell me, even when I was younger, when I was playing club soccer, it was like, if you don't want to hear your coaches say anything or correct you about anything, just do what you have to do out in the field. And that's kind of like my motto. That's kind of helped me throughout each year, even like going into college, just making sure that I'm putting in the work, doing what I have to do in order to prove myself, either out in the field, the practice field, wherever I need to be able to show myself. That's kind of how it helped me throughout those years.
Yeah, and I know that's awesome. Even going life after sports, any employer wants someone that, wants to do the job right and wants to be the best at their craft as well. So that's an amazing trait to have as well. So what would you say, and this is kind of a fun question, like what would you say we'll miss the most about Liberty? And this can be, it can be anything from teammates to a certain spot on campus to a restaurant, kind of anything in your experience at Lynchburg or in Lynchburg. What do you say you would miss the most?
I would kind of say the biggest thing I would miss is the routine, because what I have started to notice, especially in the spring, is the fact that when you are playing with the team, that literally makes up your whole entire day. So literally from the morning time when you get up to when you go to sleep, your schedule is pretty much based around your team schedule. So I'm definitely going to miss that a lot, because I now have so much time in between. So I have to figure out, like, so what am I going to do with all this time, incorporating like workouts or getting homework in ahead of time, that kind of thing. So it's just been kind of like a big switch for me that I've had to kind of get used to. But other than that, I'm definitely going to miss my team. But like I said, so I'm going to be getting my master's here at Liberty. So I'll be able to stick around, see some of my teammates again. So I'll be able to still finish out with the majority of them. But yeah, I think for me, the biggest thing is just the routine of it all, pretty much, and trying to figure out what that next step will be and what my next kind of routine will be going forward.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to the future Flames coming in, and then also, the Flames that are just starting their journey and have 3 years ahead of them to have this experience? What advice would you give to them?
The first thing I would say is just to recognize and remember that, as I said earlier, it is a privilege to be on a team, especially at a D1 school. So not taking that for granted, and then enjoying the challenges that you're going to have to face, because those are the things that are going to help build you and make you better even after college. So for me, especially, like I said, going on throughout my 3 years at Liberty, just trying to overcome, proving to my coach that I am, that player that can help make a change out on the field. So just, enjoying those challenges, embracing them, but just taking advantage of like your facilities, your coaches, your players, like everyone that's at your disposal, to take advantage of that, because those are the people that are going to help you, not hurt you. So
Yeah, and that's great advice for sure. You forget, kind of like you said with the routine, you forget how many resources you have while you're here and people to guide you and help you, and you don't necessarily always have that afterwards, and that can be hard for sure. So lastly, I know you mentioned grad school a little bit earlier, but can you tell me what's next for you, what that looks like, what you'll be studying, and what that journey will look like?
Yeah, so I'm going to be getting my master's at Liberty. And so the major is going to be criminal justice, but it's going to have a concentration in cybercrime. So that's going to be about a 1.5-year program. But I'm also going to take over the manager's position for my team, because the previous manager she was with us since my freshman year, and she went, you know, through her 4 years, and then she actually did her master's too. So now that she's leaving, they needed a new person. So I was like, why not take over that spot while I'm getting my master's, so I can kind of like, I can still be a part of the program, still be with the team, and just kind of like still be a part of that routine, I guess. So
Yeah, that's super exciting. And I know we're excited to see what you do next, and we'll definitely be following you and, you know, continuing to do stories and everything like that. So we wish you the best of luck, and I know you're going to kill it. So we're proud of you.